Welcome to The Q, the segment in which we get to discuss all the news and happenings in the world of Disney today. And oh man, this one came up this past week. Rachel, Jellyrolls Closing, like soon, like sometime this spring. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah. I mean, this was rumored, right?
Right.
But then they were so adamant on social media that it wasn't happening. And the rumor was that they were going to close before the new year. And so then that didn't happen. And so I thought it was going to be fine. But
gave you hope? A little bit of
yes, hope. Gave me hope. And then nope.
Hope and then nope.
Nope.
Hope and then nope.
Yep, that was quick. So, yeah, how do you feel? I mean, Jellyrolls is leaving, you know. It's a fun little piano bar kind of experience on the boardwalk.
Yeah, I'm sad about it. I go there a lot with my friend when we go down. And so it'll be sad not to have that. At first, the article made it sound like, don't worry, it's just moving. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's just moving. Well, it'll go somewhere, maybe Disney Springs or something, like we'll just go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And then it occurred to me, like, they didn't say it was moving at Disney World. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and it's pretty clear it's moving in Orlando, but it's not going to be at Disney.
Right.
Yeah. Jellyroll sounded like a really fun experience, and it's something I wish I would have gotten a chance to do, because I'm one of those guests that don't mind staying up later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great for staying up late.
Exactly. But it was always adults only, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And by the time we got to the point where we started comfortably stepping out of the 4 parks, because your first couple of times going to Disney, it's all about the 4 theme parks.
Right.
You don't really you got to kind of see that a lot before you're like, okay, let me start venturing out of the theme parks and start looking into the water parks. Let me look into downtown Disney or Disney Springs now, or I'll take a sea racer and I'll go around the Seven Seas Lagoon or something like that. By the time that started happening, we were already traveling with kids. So that made going to Jellyrolls tough.
Yeah.
Not to mention we already have a dueling piano bar in New Orleans that's pretty popular.
Right.
But also it was just so out of the way. Like unless you were staying at one of the Epcot resorts, you probably didn't even know as a casual fan that it existed.
Yeah, probably not.
It's way on that other end for sure, from like what used to be the ESPN Club, now Cake Bake.
Yeah. And they never promoted it that I saw. I mean, do y'all remember any time?
Probably when it first opened. And that's to remember when it was like a full hardcore press.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's the thing that you mentioned. Pat O'Brien's is the place that we have. That's like, I think the original kind of piano bar concept kind of deal. It's been running forever, which is why, you know, I've always wanted to go to Jellyrolls, but I've never made it. Only because it was Pat O'Brien's, but I wanted to go because I heard it was a cleaner Pat O'Brien's.
Yeah, okay.
Because Pat O'Brien's in the quarters are a little rough, you know.
It could be, yes.
Yeah,
but if you drink enough, it's a lot of fun. You don't really pay attention to whatever
authentic.
Yeah, it's very authentic.
It's pure.
It's characterized by the city, the old city that it resides in.
But like in the old days, like when there was no Uber, you had to be pretty determined to get there. Especially like, again, as a casual guest that was maybe unfamiliar with the fact that maybe if you took the Disney bus and you got over to Boardwalk Inn and you get off there and like you really, there was no like bus Jellyrolls. You know, you had to be very familiar with the Disney bus system and how to get around property in order to see this place. So,
or like going to, I guess if you were in Epcot and you went out to like walk that area or something, that would be another way. Like that's when we always did it. We always went to Jellyrolls like after an Epcot day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they missed out because now they got that singer Jellyroll. He's apparently popular. They had invited him to come down. Had a real
Jellyrolls.
Yeah, they had a good endorsement going. But you know,
and then we could dance to Jellyroll. Oh, that's Tootsie Roll.
That's the Tootsie Roll.
Yeah. My bad.
Yes, but yeah, I had never really heard of the place because it wasn't something like whenever I went down to a vacation, it was like you said, that to do thing.
Yeah, it became a hidden gem.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we have those hidden gems and then they're gone. It's like
it's because nobody found them.
Yeah. You know, it was never promoted. It was just never something I heard of, but I would have liked to have witnessed it now, and I can't. And I hope it's not going to be something where it gets turned into a sea of office buildings or something like that. That's my concern.
Well, it was always packed, you know, like it wasn't like people didn't know. It was always packed. But,
but mostly locals or?
I think mostly cast members. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Or locals. When I went, there were definitely a lot of cast members, like younger, like college program folk. And then there would be like some locals as well, for sure, when I went.
Okay. And to me, that's like the bigger problem here, isn't it? Is Disney is losing all of their late night entertainment.
Mhm.
Like there is no reason
Yeah.
to stay up past 10 in Disney anymore. Oh, maybe that's not true. Maybe 11-ish. There's just no reason to stay up late anymore. And as a night owl who likes going out and likes entertainment at night, I mean, don't get me wrong. You got places where you can go grab a drink, I guess, up until what, 11?
11 or
Yeah,
12,
like 11. And
Yeah.
sometimes even earlier, like when I fly in and I'm not getting there until 8:30, I'm sort of like, oh, everything's going to be closed by the time I get to Disney property
Mhm.
or closing, like kitchen's closed kind of thing.
For the life of me, I'm trying right now to think of it, a late night establishment at Disney that has also entertainment.
Mm.
And that's the thing, right?
I mean,
We're-
I
guess
this kinda
Raglan
concept- Yeah, Yeehaw Bob, maybe.
Yeah, Bob. Okay, Raglan Road.
Yeah,
That's possible.
those kind of places. House of Blues, if they got something.
Oh yeah, House of Blues.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's generic. It's not really, it's not really like what they used to do where there was a theme to it and a show that accompanied it. I guess you can stay up a little bit later to go to Disney Springs if you want to, but who really wants to do that transit? I mean, it's like an hour
the thing,
back
yeah.
and forth on the buses to only be there for a couple hours, because if you're spending hundreds of dollars to be in the parks, you might as well avail yourself of the bars and everything there before you start venturing outside of it. And by the time you can venture outside of it, it's like, well, there's only 2 hours left anyway, so what's the point?
Right.
Yeah, they close at midnight usually. Well, only on the weekends. It's earlier, not on the weekends.
Oh, well. And I hate to see a concept like this go away from there, because I still think it's pretty viable. I know Pat O's here. I'm sure when the Super Bowl people come into town, this could be packed out the wazoo. And so it's just a different little thing. It's just fun. You send a little tip up, you get your song request in, they play whatever they want, the two piano players.
They're so talented.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. And everybody's singing. I mean, when
Yes,
like
a
Neil,
blast.
was that Sweet Caroline comes on, it just goes nuts, I'm
Yes.
sure. So,
Yes.
I mean, you're going to miss out on that type of stuff. And I hate to see that leave the property, because that's just fun. It's fun. And it's different.
It'd be fun if they opened up at City Walk, wouldn't it?
They'd have Pat O's
But Pat
and
O'Brien
Jellyrolls.
is at City Walk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You'd have
Yeah, we
both.
have Pat O's
Jellyroll.
at City Walk.
Yeah.
Well, they put Jellyrolls down by Epic Universe. And so that way they don't have to,
Yeah.
they can dominate those areas.
We're taking a cruise in February, and the ship we're on is the Icon of the Seas, and they have a dueling piano bar on the ship. So I'm excited for that.
Fun. Wait,
Yeah.
that's
But
this month?
Yeah, this month now. Yeah, the end of this month. And this one, Danny, is family friendly.
Oh,
so you can
nice.
bring, but like when it gets later, it's more of an adult crowd, but you can have kids in there. So I'm excited to bring my kids.
Yeah, that's why when the rumor kind of went out, I started to worry about Jellyrolls because of the whole adults only thing.
it
Because
is.
if there's any way a Disney executive can be like, okay, well, how do we get more people in that space? And how,
They can appeal to kids.
right, exactly. We're limiting it to just no. We can do so much more with that. But yeah, it just sucks because now they're pushing you to get up early. Like your booking window is what? It starts at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like everything's shutting down at like, I think Enchanted Rose is one of the later bars. They shut down at 11. Again, unless you're going to Disney Springs. Even when we make like a reservation for late night dining, it's almost like a foregone conclusion that transportation will be shut down by the time it's.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
you wanna
We
get
got
out
caught
in
in
a
it.
resort.
Yeah.
That's happened numerous times.
Yeah.
Because that's another way they encourage you, go to bed.
Yeah.
You don't need to be up. Go to bed.
I was just looking at the hours for City Walk. It's similar. So they're open an hour later. So weekdays, City Walk is open until midnight. And then on weekends, so like Friday, Saturday night, it's open until 1 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of standard for Florida, I guess.
I like
Most of
that. Gives
Florida.
you some time to get back to your hotel room. No, I think that's cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wish Disney would embrace the late night crowd. It's sad what they're doing to us.
Yeah, y'all need love too.
Well, and they've monetized the late night, right? So you can go to the after hours, and those are open till like 1 a.m. usually, but it's an extra charge.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that.
Oh, if you got nothing to do.
You want to experience
Yeah.
Disney at late night, you got to pay extra.